So you guys can stay unmuted. I don't mind. I'll mute you if there's too much background noise, just an FYI. So I want to hear what some of your fears are with the business. If you need a hot second, you can think on it. So, but if there's something right away that you're like, oh, I'm scared crapless about X, Y, and Z, I want to hear it. I know Kara's would be going live. Teresa did a Harry Scary the other day without even meaning to. And then she just owned it. She's like, oh, I'm up on TikTok. I'm just going to put it up on everything.
I guess mine would be because I've been working and having like, I guess more of what I would say like a guaranteed income, if that makes sense. Which I'm not saying Plexus can't be a guaranteed income. If you're putting in the work, you're getting that back, obviously. But like, we get PTO with things, but I'm also feeling like I work my life away. So it's like the weighing blocks of like, okay, well, there's this, but there's also this. I get more time on my family, but see, does that make sense?
You're worried that if you leave your job, you're not going to have the money there that you need. Is that it? Yeah. Yeah. No, I get that. And no, there is no guarantee, obviously, with Plexus, but once you build to a certain amount, like I know that at a minimum, I'm bringing in X amount of money. Like even on a slow month, I know I'll bring in X amount of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those big months are great. I love those big months. And it's like it's almost like a bonus, right? So you basically focus your life on what's the average. What's the average that I'm making right now? That's what I need to focus on. On anything that else that comes in is an extra bonus.
Yeah.
And I know we're looking at you going a little bit faster and building bigger, so you're not really going to know what your average is necessarily. But I think there's always ways to have buffers too. Like worst case scenario, you go and get a part-time job at McDonald's or something. That sounds awful. I'm just thinking of like there's always like some crap job that you can go pick up and make a little bit of money, right?
If anything, I'd become a waitress at the restaurant right down the road, and I know the manager because the manager is my soon to be ex roommate because she's leaving me to go to Florida.
Rude.
Exactly.
Actually, that would be a really good job because it's super flexible and you make really good money. I swear it is the best college job. I'm gonna like make my kids serve during college because you make good money and and I did it when I was in college and it was paid for a lot of things. So it's like there's a way to have some kind of backup plan. Like you can go serve at the restaurant around the corner and make a couple $100 a week extra, right? So it's good to have a backup plan, yeah, but I get that. Is that gonna hold you from like going all in though? No, no. Okay, who else?
I think mine is fear of success.
Is it fear of success or fear of failure or
no fear like not failure but fear of success. My whole life I've been told I never amount to anything, and it's like, well, what if I do? What if I get that? Am I proving them wrong? Am I proving my actual worth, or am I living a lie that was never meant for me?
you don't feel like you deserve it?
Yeah.
Do you want to prove them wrong or do you want to prove that you are a success?
I don't know yet. With the nursing school stuff, it was to prove my mother-in-law wrong because she told me I would never do it and I'd break my family up. And now I'm here, I'm buying a house, I'm starting work on Monday. Like, I did it in 3 years where she couldn't do it in 25. Like, part of that is like jab in your face, lady. But
Teresa,
Yeah.
at the same time, and I had to learn this fast. Are you doing it for you or are you doing it for them?
that was for them. I don't know.
Is
I'm doing
Plexus
like
for you?
solely for me. You got to do it for you.
Yeah.
Is Plexus for you?
So far, it's been all about me. Yeah.
I love it. Good. I think that's what you need. I think you need to be selfish.
I've never been selfish. Like right
I-
now, I'm making homemade pizza crust for my kids because they want pizza and we can't afford to go out and get pizza. So,
You gotta save money for that dang house you're buying.
yep, we just put 1,500 down on escrow. Oh. Ah,
I almost had a heart attack when I wrote my down payment check. There were a lot of zeros. Like 4 zeros. Before the decimal point. Okay, so do you feel like that is holding you back right now? Yep. Yep. What would you be doing differently if that wasn't holding you back? Do you
I'm
want to?
gonna- I
Go
don't
ahead.
know. I don't know what I'd be doing differently.
Because it's holding you back, but we don't know how. That's what we need to
Yeah.
uncover.
Yeah, that's definitely what we need to uncover for sure.
Okay. Take a hot second and you can think on that. And we're going to move to Tiffany.
My hang up is that I truly want to help people. And I'm not talking about my group of people or people I know because that's not the hang up. The hang up is strictly like, say I'm scrolling through social media and there's a post on like the Milwaukee Chit Chat board, just to give a name of a group. And they're asking for X, Y, and Z weight loss, blood pressure, anything like that. And I mentioned I can help them. I've got a hand slap because you're the reason no one likes to ask questions because you're just an MLM and trying to make money off people. But
You're
it's
going to
like,
get
I
them
make
everywhere.
money. What?
You're going to get them everywhere. You're going to
Yeah,
get the trolls anywhere and everywhere.
So do I just keep doing my thing and be like, girl, I can help you? And
Absolutely.
okay. I've been
Absolutely.
muted from groups. There was a group that I hadn't seen in my feed for a while. It was a really big group. And I went to try to post something and figured out that I had been muted for 6 months because of one of my posts that they approved. I'm like, what? So, okay, that's my
You
hang up right now.
You keep moving on. Here's the, I wish,
Just like
my
I want
kid
to
took
help
my phone.
people. Like,
My kid took my phone. But I've been scrolling through pictures because it's Sophie's birthday and I have to make her a birthday post and a reel, right? And I've
yes.
spent way too much time on it. And I literally just have the video together right now. Anywho, I came across this picture that I took from convention. And if you guys aren't following the Iron Cowboy yet, you need to go follow the Iron Cowboy. He's an ultra triathlete, essentially, and he has 3 world records. And one of his world records is 50 triathlons in 50 states in 50 days.
Whoa. That's one of his records.
Just the logistics alone of that are like,
That's insane.
excuse me? And I'm like, but what about Alaska and Hawaii? Like, you gotta fly to those. So, like, it's insane, right? One of his marathon or his triathlons, It was like crazy wind. I don't remember like all the things, but it was like a monsoon out, tornado warning or something. And so it was not safe for him to be outside running, riding. I think he just ran on the treadmill. I don't remember. But people were trying to say that he failed because he didn't do it outside. And I don't know why, but for some reason, someone came up with the stats of how many people were like celebrating him and how many trolls showed up. And it was 0.24% of trolls. And so one thing that he said is don't let the 0.24% ruin your dreams. Make you stop. Don't waste your energy or your time on 0.24%.
Makes sense.
Right?
It's so much easier to glom onto the negativity, just like it's so much easier to say negative things to yourself or think negative things.
Yeah.
Um,
And pull yourself together over there.
so
Yeah. So they're gonna come up, they're gonna happen, spend 0.24 seconds on them and move on. And usually I say don't spend any time on them, but 0.24 is gonna be basically you
Yeah.
reading it and that's over.
Yep.
It needs to end that fast.
Yeah.
And so you just keep showing up and doing what you're doing and you have to be strong and stand in I'm here to help people. And I'm not going to stop until I've helped every single person that I possibly can in this world.
I love it.
Personal thought.
Yep. Because then there are the people that are like, thank you for helping me. Or like
exactly.
when I talk to my aunt and she's like, you know, I don't have problems with my arthritis anymore. Those are the people that I need and that need me.
And when you have those days, reflect back on that. And there's times where I have to reflect back. Like you guys, I think, have all heard the story of my friend that lived in a hospital bed for 5 years because of his back pain. And I got him started, and 4 days later, he played 18 holes of golf. Like I gave him his life back, and now his wife has been dealing with some really horrific, vastly reduced life expectancy situation. And he's now having to care for his wife when his wife used to care for him. And if I hadn't have basically saved his life, he lost 100 pounds, he dropped like 40 different meds. I'm not being sarcastic. And now he's the one living life, caring for his wife, who for the last like 2 years hasn't really had any quality of life. So I have to reflect back on things like that all the time. Because you better believe the trolls show up for Michelle or the negative Nancy, negative Nelly, whoever it is, they show up.
Oh, I've wanted to like slap some of the people on your post. Like, wait a minute here. Wait a minute. I know her personally. This is real.
See? Not just me. It's not just you. Yep. Give them 0.24% of your time or seconds of your time and then move on and find them. Also, we are not here to convince a soul that they need plexus. We're here to help them realize for themselves that they need plexus. Whether it's the business or the products, I'm not here to convince anyone. If I'm convincing someone, they're not really in. So one thing I highly recommend doing is when you're having conversations, open-ended questions. Everyone show me your hand if you know what an open-ended question is. Hand. Great. Teresa's dealing with a cat. Where's the paw? Or not Teresa, Valerie. Another one. Whatever. I know who I'm talking about. We all know who I'm talking about. Okay, so asking them open-ended questions, like you're just constantly open-ended questions. That's what so something like, how does this make you feel? Okay, so for instance, so the girl I met last night, and I hung out with and I'm signing up. We all know I'm signing her up, right? Today, we've been texting back and forth, and she has told me multiple times now. I spent 2 hours with her yesterday. She's chatty. She's great. I like her. She's told me how overworked and underpaid she is. She legit said, I would love to quit my job and have my boyfriend support me. I think he might let me do that, but I just bought this car. I have to pay for my car. And I just let her spill. I let her put it all out on a silver platter for me. And what's up? Okay, well, we just hang it for a little. So today I'm texting with her and she's telling me how much she's working and that she doesn't have time
Yes.
for all this garbage at work, nothing to do with me. And I basically just let her vent. And then I started asking her, like, hey, how much money? I'm curious. You know, you were mentioning you have to cover your car payment now because you just bought a brand new car. How much money would you need every month to cover that? And she said, I'm going to need at least $1,500 to cover my expenses, but that wouldn't give me any extra. So, you know, I would like a little bit extra to make sure I've got, you know, some cushion room for any unexpected things. I was like, so 1,500 to 2,000, right? She's like, yeah. I'm like, what if you could work like 4 hours a day and make that? Because she's also said that she wants to be able to work. She's an independent woman, and so she wouldn't mind working a little bit, but then also having more than enough time to play and do and all the things. So I was like, what if you could work 4 hours, make that money, and then go do your things? She's like, that would be amazing. And I said, well, what if you could make more than that? And she's like, would anyone say no to that? And I was like, right. So then, and I'm just asking her open-ended questions. She's spilling her guts. And then I said, let me see if I can find exactly what I said. I can't, it's on my computer. I said, I'm 100% with you. Would you be open to seeing how we could do this? Bonus, you'd be working with me. And I put like the little dancing lady in the red dress. You know what emoji I'm talking about, right? And she said, I'd be totally open to having the conversation. And you always know there's a but, right? There's always a but. My job is to help overcome the buts. It's so funny, you guys. To be honest, I've never been super into the sales sides of things. I know blah, blah, blah. But I'm definitely open to having the conversation of what it looks like. That summarizes what she said. If you want to, you can unmute. Kirsten, you look like you have something to ask or say, or hold on, let me see if I can, no, it just says ask to unmute. I can't actually unmute you. I can only mute you.
What it looks like is Michelle. She's right in front of you on the phone. That's what it looks like. You want to be like her.
So that was basically the last of this conversation, working on her, but that's kind of how to have, like, you want them basically get them to dish. And then they end up just eating out of your hand. Also, when you're talking to people, people like to talk about themselves. Like almost the entire 2 hours I spent with her yesterday, she was talking about herself and her life, which is totally fine. Totally fine. I talked too. It was great. But people like to talk about themselves. They want to. So if you ask them about themselves, their lives, how is that affecting you? And this is about money or products. How are you showing up for your life in this? What would you want your life to look like? What would you be willing to do to have that? How important is it for you to achieve that? If I had a solution for you, would you want to know what it is? So it's all like, think you questions. Like you, if you had a solution to that, would you want to know what it is? Don't say I. As few I's as possible in every question you ask. and all of the conversations, because you want it 100% about them. You don't want to be like, you don't want them thinking, well, what's in it for you? You want them thinking, what's in it for me? And when I say me, I'm talking about them. You guys got that right. When you're making a product recommendation, do not make it until they have ate everything out of your hands and they are in it to win it. I'm like, I'm gonna sell you so hard before we even get over the products. And they also, at this point, like every question that could possibly be asked has pretty much been asked before I create a cart. Because I feel like once you create that cart, then you're just like waiting and waiting and waiting. And you're like, now I feel like I'm just gonna follow up and 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 follow up, and I'm gonna wring my neck. A light bulb just went off.
You gave me an idea for one of the girls that I'm talking to. The one that talked about how that she wouldn't be able to do it until August 10th because her rent's coming up. I'm going to actually probably call her and be like, hey, make a list of like 10 people, reach out to them, be like, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm starting, this is my dream, this is my goal. Would you do it with me? If we get people to sign, if we get like people to like do this with you, like she wants to be a stay-at-home mom. Like she's not a mom yet, but she wants to be able to carry her own. She's where I was a year and a half ago. So, and I actually didn't know this until today. And so
you're getting the platter. The platter is like in front of you. Now you need her eating from it.
Yeah. So
because you've got all the things. You just need her to see. So what I would call her and like ask her a few more of these questions of like, so she has spilled. This is just like what happened with Kelsey and I last night. She spilled. I got a full platter ready to present. And then I started asking the questions. If the person asking the questions is in charge of the conversation, right? So call her and say, hey, I know your dream is to be a stay-at-home mom.
Has to be a rare one. It's obvious.
What are your plans for being able to achieve that?
Yeah. Well, she said she's already 100% in. The only thing that's holding her back from purchasing like tonight is her rent comes out. So she'd have to wait until the 10th, the next time she gets paid. So what I'm thinking is like, and she wants to create a business as well. And like
she can get her 3 people lined up and then order basically. I would say, does she know about the 3 people?
Not yet. That's why.
Okay, so that would be basically like, hey, would you like to know about, it's not an open-ended question, but would you like to know about how we could get your products covered very like basically as soon as you press order. Yeah, that's where I was going with that. The train just totally crashed into.
You're good.
Yeah. But you would basically say, do you think we can get 3 people ready to get started with you right out of the gate? And I'm going to show you how to grow it from there. So by the 10th, you're going to have like $600 in your bank.
But how
So to make it like an open,
get paid though? Like how soon would she get paid? Because like I don't want
it depends on when she orders. So if we get all the orders in by Saturday, she'll be paid next Thursday.
so and then you can ask, instead of like the yes or no question, you can ask, how would that impact, how would that change, how much would that change your being ready to order?
Oh.
Yeah, good one, Kara. Yeah. Basically, you know, if we
Here,
could
I'm just
get
typing.
300, I think 3 people is 375, right? My kids have.
Do you have the GIF for that? So like if because she wants to know more about how like because I told her a little bit about like quick start. I was like, yo, you do a quick start and we get this going, like you get bonuses. But
Yeah.
I don't know
I
much.
do have the graphic for July for Fast Start. New ambassadors are getting double BBBs, so it's literally double pay. I think it's 375 for 3 people. Minimum. So she would end up making a minimum of $60 by next Thursday.
Minimum of 60.
Actually, no, it'd be 160 because she would get her Fast Start bonus.
Oh my gosh, that is disgusting. I will be right back. Hi.
No,
I'm like, what happened?
no, we're all like, what did you just put your hands
No,
in?
we all need to know, so she's got to come back and tell us.
Was
Leave
it
us
who?
hanging.
She definitely had a gag reflex. So.
I saw that.
I've been there, Kirsten.
Poor girl. Oh my god.
That's not like extreme one.
So
What's up,
to
Teresa?
help with Kirsten's thing, the open-end question, could she ask like, which 3 friends do you have that could do this with you with the buddy system? 3 or 4 friends. That would be the open-ended question, and then lay the silver platter and be like, okay, what if I told you if you got those 3 or 4 people on with you, this is how much you would make minimum by Thursday next week.
Yes, beautiful. Love it.
I'm sitting here like formulating as you guys are talking. I'm like, wait, you guys are talking open-ended and you're not giving open-ended questions. Wait.
I know I usually am pretty good about, I always get hung up on at some point. I'm like, oh, open-ended question. I got this. And then, oh, how do I, hold on.
You can also reword that too with if you could do this, if you could sign up today and then basically make your money back by next Thursday, how much would that change your being ready?
Yeah.
Get your products paid for by next Thursday, make your money back by next Thursday, make X amount by next Thursday, all those things.
Yeah. Beautiful. Look at this teamwork, you guys.
I'm still loving this conversation because I'm going to go after this and talk to the girl that is interested in products but doesn't have the money. So I'm going to take all this and just go back to her and be like, what if I could show you? So super helpful.
I would get your platter, get the platter first, ask the questions to fill the platter.
Mm-hmm.
I like the visual that I've created for you guys.
Yep.
And then you're going to put it down in front of her and she is going to eat it all.
Yep.
And ask for seconds.
Yes. But she knows she needs the gut health. She's got all the things, you know, exhaustion and all that. So
Teresa's got me over there with the platter. Kirsten, you have to fill
yeah.
us all in on what you were gagging about.
Yes.
What happened over there.
No,
have
it's super gross. And I feel really bad about it too.
No, I want to know.
So I have, well, my household's been freaking hectic and I haven't really been doing dishes. But when you don't do dishes, these tiny little white things grow to be really big, and a lot of them, and I put my hand in an entire bowl of them. So I just threw out 4 bowls. I threw out 4 bowls. I wasn't even gonna clean it. I just grabbed them and put them in a trash bag and put it outside.
Oh my god. Oh. The worst.
It's
You know,
because of the
people use
heat. They
those.
grow so fast.
You know that some people use those as bait? I'm like, how do you even touch it? How, like, I can touch an actual freaking worm, but oh no,
Oh, Yeah.
no.
nope, straight to the garbage. I don't care about that bowl anymore. In the trash you go.
I would throwing everything in the sink away at this point.
And then if you
Got any
got some bleach,
I know that's like, you know,
put bleach
bad.
down your
I know that's
drain
bad. But yes, do that.
so that it kills them or any of the stuff that they leave behind.
Ugh. Ugh. I forgot to take my trash out before our 10-day vacation.
Oh man.
So I also had a little issue. And they were all like around the trash can, but they were also all along like the floor of my kitchen. Freaked out.
I lost a crock pot that way. I thought that I had cleaned it out, and so I stored it, went back to use it, and needless to say, it went straight into the trash can.
Yep.
And I
Can't do
only
it.
used it like once. So yeah, we've been there. Michelle's like, nope, never been there. Nope.
Oh, there's been little worms, larvae. I'm totally, absolutely.
Don't say the word, Michelle.
Okay, I feel like we've had good chat about kind of how to have those conversations, that's going to help you close, right? We want to try and close more conversations because otherwise we're working a lot for not a lot, right? If we can close more conversations, we're going to make more money.
Yes.
And you have to ask for the sale.
There was one more I was thinking of actually like 5 minutes before the call started. I was looking for something on Facebook, and one of my friends had posted, she's like a bead seller, and posted that she was staying cool in the air conditioning because she was in a fibro flare. How long do you wait after seeing a post to say, hey friend, I saw?
Okay, so what I would recommend is messaging them like, hey, I saw your post. Like you relate. Like we're not relate,
Yes.
but like give your heart to them. Like
Yes. Yeah.
I've dealt with a lot of various different pains in my life the exhaustion that comes from that with my, like for you, like with my CP and my dystonia. It breaks my heart. I'm glad that you have the AC there to help you. Is there anything else? Do you have any other tools to help support you? So you're getting curious, you're asking the questions.
Yeah.
And then, it's basically like, how do you feel like that's supporting you?
How long after you see the post though, like, should I go do it today? Just be like, hey. Okay.
You guys, I
wrote
sent
it.
you guys
I wrote
the
an
message
email.
about like, I'm not posting and praying today. Like I messaged at 4 people, I think. Yeah. 4 people and asked them if they saw my post basically. And then one of the girls that signed up under me actually, legit posted a couple hours ago how she feels bad because she's gone at work all day and her kids are home. Her kids are old enough to stay home, so no judgment there, right? Her kids are at home by themselves all day while she's gone at work. And they're bored and she feels bad. She's a single mom. And I sent her a message and I just said like, hey, I really related to your post. It's crazy after the post that I shared today. I want you to know that your kids appreciate and know why you're working. And so I didn't necessarily say like, hey, go look at my post. I just mentioned the post that I put up. So that's something else that you can kind of do. And if someone, you can also, like, you see a post, you can go post some kind of testimony
That's usually what I do.
and wait a hot sec. Don't post it and immediately message them. But they're not going to know. Like if you post it pretty quick and kind of do that situation, let it sit for an hour maybe, and then be like, hey, I just saw your post that you shared. It totally made me think of what I actually posted today. Did you see it? Kind of crazy. You're
Good
just
idea.
taking their eyes to it.
Mm-hmm.
Power of suggestion, kind of, is basically what it is.
Yeah.
So that's another way. Or you could also do it with like a story
Mm-hmm.
in your stories.
In my stories, I have a little trick that I like to do when I'll like create a poll and ask a question. I
Oh.
strategically place that box over to the side where people like to click to go to the next story. So they'll answer my poll without knowing that they're answering my poll. So they end up in my inbox. And then I'm like, oh, hey, I saw you answered this. And you're like, oh, I didn't mean to. That's okay. I did that on purpose.
That's okay. It happens all the time. But I don't think that there's any mistakes in life.
Nope.
Is there any reason you would want to talk about what I'm doing? Is there any reason for you to take a look at this? I took out I. Is there any reason that you would want to take a look at this? That's a good way to do it. Do you have any reason?
Perfect.
Love
Everything
it.
happens for a reason.
Love
What's
it.
yours?
Everything happens for a reason, friends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
These magnets did not happen for a good reason.
Well, there's, yeah.